it's Jen with Astrology. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are starting our new weekly series, which is going to be your weekly astrological forecast for the week ahead. Might as well start this during Aries season because it's a good time to get jump started on anything. So we're going to talk about what's coming up this week in terms of aspects and different things that might affect you for the week, and how it might play out for you and for the world in general. So first, today is Sunday. It's April 2nd. The moon just moved into Virgo. It's in a waxing gibbous phase. It's about 87% of its fullness. Mars is going to move into Cancer. Or Mars is in Cancer, and it's going to come into a sextile with the North Node that is in Taurus. Now, a sextile is a happy, kind of a nice aspect. So if you can see here, I added a couple strings to our little board just to make things a little bit easier to see. So if we have Mars, I don't have anything for the North Node, but the North Node is, the North and South nodes are 2 points in the sky that kind of are, I'll get into a whole video about it, and I'm going to actually bring that up during what's coming up as to be eclipse season. So the North Node is kind of about, a little Jupiterian. It's kind of what we want, something bigger, something that we feel that we need to move towards in this world, maybe to be famous, to be rich, to be beautiful, to be popular. So these things are always something that we are hungry for in life, something that's to be desired, but it's not always the greatest thing in the world. South Node is kind of the opposite, and they're always on the polar opposites. So if the North Node is in Taurus, you know that the South Node is in Scorpio. So the South Node is more about kind of taking away, kind of a, like a exhaling, like a, we need to get rid of some things. We need to cut back. Maybe the excess is a little too much. So there's kind of an ebb and flow between the two. They're based on, they're the moon's nodes, so they're based on kind of like, like the tides, like an ebb and flow. And they work together. Too much of one is not always good. You want a good flow going. So with Mars in Cancer, so Mars is currently in Cancer. Now this makes Mars a little more, so even though it is in a sextile, which is a happy aspect to the North Node, and which is about, like, I want to move towards what I want. I want to go towards being something bigger and better and gaining what I want in life, maybe, and take action towards it. But because it's in Cancer, it kind of softens Mars a little bit. So it's more of like a seductive, like a protective, like it wants to protect what it has, maybe the people in its life that it has. Cancer kind of almost rules like the family house. Right here I have it in the 4th house because I always have this set on Aries. But it's kind of, Cancer is kind of known for being like a family-oriented, mothering type of sign. So with Mars in there, it softens it. It almost gives Mars the need to open up its feelings and tell its feelings instead of, in a soft way, instead of harshly. So it's a nice aspect. It looks like this week's going to be a pretty good week. Nothing really crazy going on. So we had enough of that last week. So, it's just, hopefully this is going to be just a nice little transition into spring. So then we have, on Monday, so we have Mercury is now moving into Taurus. So we have Taurus here, Mercury's moving into Taurus. We have a couple other planets in there. We have, Venus in there. We have Aquarius. We have the North Node like we talked about before. So it's a popular house right now. So a lot of fixed themes going on, because Taurus is a fixed house, so there's a lot of fixity going on with Mercury in there, with all the other planets in there. So kind of like we want to stay the course. We want to just kind of plug along. With it will end up actually squaring Pluto. So a square, and what you'll see on your chart is, and we have Pluto, which is in Aquarius. So what you're going to see in your chart when you pull it up is you're going to see these lines everywhere. So those are what we call the aspects, and the aspects can be rough, and then they can be easy. So sometimes the more difficult aspects are these, like the squares. So usually, or not usually, but it is, a square will fall on the same, so the fixed area, it'll either be, they're both fixed, they're both mutable, they're both cardinal. So it'll fall onto that. So too much of one thing could be, a battle, just within yourself. So you have a little bit of, we have fixed in Aquarius here, and then we have Pluto that had just moved, actually I have these backwards. I'm sorry about that. We have Mercury down here, and then we have Pluto up here that just moved into Aquarius, which we just talked about last week. So this kind of, makes you think about your beliefs. It makes you kind of rethink things that that you might want to change. A little bit of a mental purge, if that makes any sense. Kind of getting rid of old thoughts that you might not want, maybe that you've struggled with. So there's the little struggle with, that maybe like, I don't know if I, believe this, or if I want to, so maybe kind of like mentally purge out all this, the confusion and the muddiness that might be in your head. Pluto is about deep change. It's about getting rid of things and purging and elimination. So, this reminds me a lot of that. So maybe if you have some questions, maybe you want to look into that and kind of like, get a better handle on what you're thinking. So then we have on Tuesday the 4th, the moon comes into a nice trine with Venus, which is always nice. It's caring. It's, Venus is about love. The moon is about caring. So now if you were to look on your chart, and you were to see this spinning around as an aspect, you would see this in the blue lines. So we have Venus in Taurus, and so you would see it as the blue line, and then you would want to see where your planets or angles are. So any of these aspects that you might see, if they land exactly on, so like the Mars and Cancer, Mars and Cancer sextiling the node today, that happens at about the 4th degree. So anything that you might have on the 4th degree of a cardinal or even a fixed sign, you might feel it a little bit more. That's why you want to kind of pay attention to the degrees. That's why, the degrees up. So it could be, you could have a planet down the 29th degree. If this is happening in the 4th degree, you might feel a little bit, but it's going to be a lot less than if it's on the 29th degree, same as what you have. So you'll feel it that much more intensely, especially if it's something that is on one of your angles, which is your AC, IC, DC, and MC. So we talked about those in another video too. So those are very, that will make things a lot more potent. If it falls on one of your luminaries, that will make it a lot more potent as well. So we have the moon trining Venus, and then, the moon kind of moves through and, kind of quickly. It takes about 2.5 days or so to move through a sign. So then it hits and it opposes Neptune, right before it moves into Libra. Trines Pluto, and so this kind of gives you a little, maybe you're kind of seeing through the falsity in relationships. Okay, we're done with, these games. We're done with trying to pretend we're someone we're not. And now I'm seeing this person for who they really are. And this is a pretty, it's all pretty nice. It's all, you know, trines and sextiles, and it's a nice feeling. It's, I think, you know, whether you're in a partnership, whether you're in a relationship, you're going to feel pretty secure, and you're going to feel pretty much like, you know, I feel stable in this, and I feel like I genuinely know this person, and, you know, those questions might not be there anymore. And, you know, just, and these are all just kind of quick little things, especially with the moon moving through. So it might be just, you know, at that time, just a little like, you know what? And you might have that good feeling, might, you know, make you feel good for a couple hours or so, and like positive, and then, wait a minute, you know, it's opposing Neptune, but that's only for a little while, and then it goes along and trines Pluto. So it ends up, I think, being a pretty pleasant, happy, your needs feel fulfilled. So I think it's a pretty positive day on Tuesday. So then Wednesday, April 5th, which is actually my sister's birthday. She's an Aries, I'm a Libra, so polarities, but she's my best friend. She makes all my jewelry. If you see me wearing the necklaces, she also painted that picture back there. So she's super artistic. I think she has a Libra rising. We're not sure about her exact birth time, but we pretty much pinpointed it down to that. That's what makes sense. Anyway, enough about her. Just had to bring her up because it's her birthday. So happy birthday. And so today on this is Wednesday, April 5th, we have Mercury that is currently in Taurus, and it is in sextile to Saturn in Pisces. So we've talked about the Saturn in Pisces and the Mercury in Taurus. So sextile again, that's positive. So we have, and what that will look like on the outside of your chart is like this. So it's sextile is when it's 2 signs away, or about, it's an exact 60 degree. Give or take, you know, sometimes people put like orbs in there, but when you're talking about, you know, like exacts, you want the exact 60 degree difference, where squares would be 90s, and so on. So this is going to look like this on the outside of your chart. So when I think about this, I think about a lot of mental stability. So, you know, you're kind of, you know, coming down from, you know, maybe like if your brain's been doing a lot of overtime, a lot of, you know, mature kind of thoughts, and the way you speak, you might be able to articulate a little bit better and a little more understandably. It's a good day for negotiations. Maybe it's a good day to go talk to your boss about, you know, maybe, you know, how I'm thinking about that promotion. What do you think? I think I've been doing a good job. Maybe you'll have a good handle on the situation. Saturn will give you that seriousness, that mental stability to focus, to get your plan, your, you know, what you want to present to them, and it'll help you out with that. So Wednesday's gonna, you know, another positive aspect going on. Then we get to Thursday. So on April 6th, we have the full moon, and that is in Libra. This is going to be coming to its peak at about 12:31 a.m., and that's here Eastern Standard Time, here in New England. So those in cardinal signs, around the mid sign area. So it's about, you know, 10 or 12 days in or so. So anything that's around that, the second, what we call Dwad. So we each has 30, and they're all broken down into 10 each, and each of that is the Dwad. We'll have another about that, but this would take place in the like the second Dwad of the Libra Aries axis. So we're gonna have a whole episode on that, I think, coming up, because this is the last full moon before we hit eclipse season. So we're going to do some learning about the eclipses and the nodes, what we talked about before, and how they figure in, and exactly what is an eclipse. You know, when the sun's not, you know, these happen about every 4 times every year, about 2 in the spring and 2 in the fall. But you don't see the sun being, you know, in the lunar eclipse being full, but it's more about the nodes. Anyway, we'll get into that. I don't need to talk about that right now. But anyway, so if you're in a cardinal sign, you know, Aries, Libra, and then we have, you know, the Capricorn, Cancer as a little more of the, what we call the square aspect. So if you look at it, it's going to be the 90 degrees. And the 90 degrees from the sun and the moon. So those, you know, might have it a little bit rougher, where Libra and Aries might have it a little bit nicer. So Libra is about, again, relationships. I feel like this is going to be a very relationship-focused week, relationships and partnerships. Really depends on where Libra falls in your chart. So if it's in your, you know, 7th house, it could be your marriage life. It's in your 5th house, it could be your dating life. If it's in your 10th house, it could be a partner in your career, your job, and so on. So it just really depends on how it falls within your chart. And again, if you want some help with this week and you want to know how all these aspects are going to play out for you, please contact me, and I'll give my email address and my website, so you can contact me for a reading to get a chart of your own, and then I'll give you a little mini reading so you understand what you're looking at, which is kind of why I do these videos. Now for me, aspects have always been difficult, so I was hoping, you know, maybe having my strings here and maybe explaining them a little might help. We'll get into it a little more with every different episode. Again, we're still on the 6th, so we have the full moon. So something's coming into culmination, it's coming to its peak. We're going to be at the biggest point of it, whatever we kind of started a couple weeks ago with the new moon, and now it's kind of coming to a fruition. And then for the next couple weeks, we're going to kind of reap the benefits or the non-benefits, if it's in a bad aspect, from what this moon brought to us. And again, now, if you're a Libra, this is going to be a little more intense than it would be for if you're just, you know, a Leo, say for instance. But you know, Leo is in 2 degrees away, or 2 houses away, so that's 60 degrees. So it is in a positive aspect, which would be in a sextile. So it would still be positive somewhat, but maybe not as intense. So I know some things that I'm hoping that this kind of culminates and brings forth happiness in my life. I know what I've been working towards. So I hope that, you know, because it's in Libra, which is in my sun sign, I'm hoping that, you know, it works out well. But we'll see. Okay, so we also have a Mercury in conjunction with the North Node. So, here comes the node again. So Mercury, so that means that Mercury, so we learned that the node is, right now the North Node is in Taurus. So Mercury is in Taurus. They're right together. So, so this, I feel, especially what I'm working on in my life, it really is going to increase your mental capacity. So, you know, with that happening, with the full moon happening, I've kind of wanted to have a talk with somebody that is in my life to kind of work through some issues I think we've been having. And so of all the days this week, I feel like Thursday, the 6th, will be the best day for that, because I feel like I'll be the most open-minded. I'll be the best at being able to talk things out and work things out, and I think it's going to be pretty positive, so I'm really looking forward to it. So on Friday, April 7th, we have a Venus in Taurus is coming into a sextile with Neptune. That's in Pisces. This is in the afternoon. Also, we have the moon moving into Scorpio. So the moon is making its way around, getting ready. So it's making its way around. So Scorpio. So it's right about here. It's just moving in from being in its full moon phase. And then we have the sextile with Venus and Neptune. So when you think about this, they're both, you know, Venus is about love and beauty and music, and Neptune is about, you know, all things kind of flowy and abstract. So you think a lot about artistry, about music. So it might be a good day to just, you know, throw your headphones on and just kind of daze out. Maybe do some painting, maybe write some poetry. Just kind of, it's going to be a good vibe kind of day. And it is, what I like about it, it is on Good Friday. So for those of you who observe this holiday, Good Friday's on Friday, and this is a nice sextile about positive, spiritual, loving vibes. So you can't get more of good feelings on a day like that. Good Friday, good feelings. I think it all goes hand in hand. Plus Friday, you know, it's always great. Anyway, moving on, we have April 8th. That is Saturday. So we have Mercury that is still in Taurus, and that is in a sextile with Mars in Cancer. So again, this brings themes of talking through maybe our issues, working together on something. Maybe because Mars is in Cancer, it could be like a family issue that you want to address, or maybe getting together with family. I know this Saturday I'm having everybody over for a Easter kind of a lunch brunch celebration with my whole family. So it's kind of like I want to be doing something for them, and we're going to have good conversation, and we're going to, you know, talk things through, and you know, I think it's going to be great, and just have a good day, and I look forward to it. So, you know, I think there's a lot of positivity this week. And then when we come to, and working together too is great, because we're going to be cooking together. We're going to be, everyone's bringing their own potluck, and, you know, Mercury is in Taurus. Taurus all about food. I'm all about food. That's where my moon is also. So it's really, I think it's about eating, talking, having a great time with your family. Cancer is a lot of family and loving. My mom will be here, my children. So a lot of happy feelings, and maybe some other surprises too. And then on Easter Sunday, again, not to make it about religion, but if you do observe that holiday, I might not make another video until Monday, just because I think we might be busy on Easter Sunday. So just in case I can't, I kind of wanted to add Sunday into this mix as well. So at approximately 8:56 a.m., the moon moves into Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is about religion and higher learning, putting yourself almost on a higher spiritual plane, just, you know, wanting a little bit more and going higher to gain that, you know, it's ruled by Jupiter, so it's bringing you up. So being that that is actually on Easter Sunday, I think is poignant. And it also comes into sextile with Pluto. So you may feel like a deep need or desire for a religion or spirituality in your life. Maybe you want to get out of the religion you're currently in. Pluto is about endings and purgings. And so maybe you're in something that just seems like it's too much, or it's just not right for you. Well, this might be the time where you might, have a happy kind of release from that and just say, you know what, we're going to part, or I'm going to find something new, and we're going to really embrace it and get deep, deep, deep into it, and really kind of find ourselves. Pluto's about going deep, and so maybe if it is your desire for religion or some kind of spiritual observance, you really might be really intensified on this day. You might really feel that feel. With that happening on Easter Sunday, for those of you who do observe this, I think it is very, very, it makes my heart happy. It's just a very nice aspect. It really, no matter what your beliefs are, it's a good aspect. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you continue to visit with me every Sunday for a new one of our weekly forecast. And I hope you like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you'll see me come up with and follow me on this journey with all our new videos. If you have an idea for something that you're confused about, or if you have any questions about this, please add them in the comments, and I'll be glad to respond to every comment and answer to the best of my ability. And also hit the little bell so that you'll be notified of any upcoming of my new videos that I put out. I'm going to try and do this every Sunday of our weekly forecast, and then on Thursdays I'd also like to put up something big that's happening in the week. So we'll go from there. So again, have a great week, and to those of you who observe, happy Easter, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.